Okay. Hello, my name is Elaine Adkins. I am an HR specialist for the Department of Health and Human Services in the Office of Human Resources. And at this point, we will start the How to Apply Online process through USA Jobs. As you can see on the screen, we are at the home page of USA Jobs. For the sake of time, we have already created an account for this training session. Therefore, we will click on Sign Online, the top right-hand corner of the screen. We will now move a quarter of the page down and click in the first box and type in our login. Click Next and move to the second box and type in our password. Next, we will hit the Tab key and click on the I agree, sign me in. Next, we will move to the USA Jobs page that highlights from USA Jobs. At this point, we already know the vacancy announcement number that of the position that we would like to apply to. So we will move to the What box at the top of the screen, click inside the box, and type in the announcement number in which we would like to apply to. And at this point, this number will be HHS-FDA-12-MP-557610. We hit the next key or the tab key and move over to the blue arrow, the blue box with the white arrow to the right of the where. We'll click that box, move to the next page. On this page, we have the search results one of one, which is the program analyst. And so we're going to click on the link for the program analyst because we would like to apply to this position. We'll move to the next page, which shows us the vacancy announcement, which has the overview, duties, qualifications, benefits, other info, and how to apply information. Again, at this point, we know we would like to apply to this position, so we will continue to move over to our right under the Go To section of this job and click on the blue box to apply online. Now we have moved over to the Apply Online section of the USA Jobs. As you can see on this page, we have the job announcement number, job title, the grade, the agency, and the job location. Next, below that, you have the resume. And at this point, you will select the one you have stored in USA Jobs that you would like to send over for this position in which we are applying to. At this point, we will select the second resume, which is Program Analyst. In the next box, you have attachments. We will select all documents in which we would like to send over for this application package. So for the first one, we would like to select the DD-214. So we'll click under the select and select DD-214. We would like to select more than one document. So in order to do that, you will need to hold down the control key and select the next document. So at this point, we'll select other, the vet letter, go down and select the SF-15, select the SF-50, and we will also select the transcripts. And then you will lift up off the control key. Okay. We want to use the far right hand scroll bar to scroll down the page. Next, you have 3 paragraphs. We will read the first one. I have previewed my resume. So the selected document includes the information I wish to provide with this application. If this is true and correct, you will check this box to the left of the I. Second one says, allow me to attach demographic information to the application. Review or update your demographic information is a link. We don't need to do that at this time. So therefore, and we agree with this information. So we will select the box to the left of the word allow. And the third paragraph, you are certifying to the best of your knowledge and belief that all information submitted by me by the application for employment is true, complete, and made in good faith. Therefore, I will select this box as well, which is also to the left of the letter I. Below this paragraph, we have two options. We have the option to hit cancel, and we also have the option to select apply for this position now. At this point, we will check the option to apply for this position now. Next, we will move on to the system for the Food and Drug Administration. You can wait the 15 seconds, or you can select the box that says take me there now. We will select the box to take me there now. And we are moving over to the Food and Nutrition system, which is the Application Manager system. We will select the box that says proceed with my application now. Okay, on this page is the Biographic Information page. On this screen, you should see in the top right-hand corner, you have the options to go back to the main page. To the right of that, you have important links. And continuing to move to your right, the third box is help, and then the fourth box is log out. Below the log out, you see your username. And then back to the left in the middle of the screen, you have your job title, your announcement number, USA Jobs Control number, applicant name, and underneath that, you have the option to change your name. And if you come down a little further, you have the previous, and then to the right of that is next, and then further right is save. As you can see, for these three options, the previous is graded out because there's not a previous page at this time. Further to your left, flush to your left, in the top corner under the Application Manager screen is your navigation bar. And we will move, as we continue to hit next on each page, you will see that we will move down the navigation bar. Okay, so back to the middle of the page, you have your biographic data. This information is being pulled from USA Jobs. So therefore, what we will do on this page is scroll down and verify that this information is correct. If any of it needs to be changed in any way, then you will click in any of the boxes and make the edits at that time. So for instance, for the address, in the first box, I have my address, 158 Perfect Street. At this time, I need to add my apartment number. So I'm going to click in the second box below my address and type in my apartment number. Spell out the word apartment, and space, and put in the apartment number. Next, I will scroll down using the far right scroll bar. Scroll down and continue to verify my information. I have my city, my state, my zip code, country, we can leave that blank. Telephone number, I have that number there. And then the contact time, I can make a selection by clicking on the down arrow box, and I'm going to select either. Next, I have the option to add a fax number and a fax extension number, which I'm not going to add at this time. Continue to scroll down the page. Next, I have my email address, which that is accurate. My citizenship, yes, I am a citizen, so I don't need to make any additional changes to this page. So I'm going to select next at the bottom of the page. Now I have moved over to the eligibility information page. As you can see, I'm moving down the navigation bar as the eligibility information has turned blue. The box has turned blue, so that letting me know that I'm now on the eligibility information page. And in the middle of the page, my job title, announcement number, application name, and change name, all of that information along with the username and the top main screen navigation informations, main, important links, help, and log out. Those navigation bars continue to follow me on each of the pages. Okay, now below the previous and next and save, I have the next box, which is the lowest grade. At this point, I have the option to enter the lowest grade level that I will accept for this position. The lowest grade for this position is a GS9. So I will select the drop-down arrow box, and I will select the lowest grade I'm willing to accept for this position. At this point, I will select the 9. Scroll down the page a little further and go to the next box, which is the Veterans Preference Claim. As you can see here, I have already selected the 10 points compensable disability preference claim. That information again was pulled over from your jobs for me. Okay. The next one is the dates of active duty military service. At this point, I need to add my dates. I will click on the drop down box in the from. As you can see, there's a calendar there. I can select from the calendar the date, or I can type the date in. At this point, I will type my date in. Typing in January the 1st, 1980. Tab over and go to the to box and do the same. I will enter in my to date, which will be January 1st, 2010. Now we'll scroll down a little bit further using the far right hand scroll bar. Next, the next box is the occupational specialties. For this specialty, the program analyst is the position, and that has been selected for me. So I will not make any changes to that box. Next, continue to scroll down a little further. I have the geographic availability. At this point, I will select at least one geographic location in which I am interested in and will accept employment. For this position, I only have one location available for me, which is Silver Spring, Maryland, United States, and that box is also checked for me. The last box on this page is the Transition Assistance Plan. I have the option to select either the Career Transitions Assistance Plan or the Interagency Career Transition Assistance Plan. At this point, I will leave those two boxes blank. I will click Next at the bottom of the page. Now we have moved on to Other Information. We're now on the Other Information page. Again, the menu bars are still the same, but in the middle of the screen, we now start off with the employment availability. And the first one is full-time employment, 40 hours per week. I will select that box. Part-time employment, I don't want any part-time work, so I will not select any of those boxes. The next section is the temporary employment lasting. I don't want any temporary employment lasting assignments. Therefore, I will not select any of those boxes either. The next one is jobs requiring travel away from home. I will select the first one, which is 1 to 5 nights a month. So I will select the first one. Now I'm going to scroll down using the scroll bar to the right. Next, I have the Interagency Career Transition Assistance Program. Are you eligible for ICTAP eligible? My options are yes or no. My option that I would choose for this position is no. Question, is Indian preference eligible? Are you eligible for Indian preference as identified or as defined by the Department of Interior? My options here are yes or no. I will select no for this question. Next is the Public Law 94-437 eligible. Are you eligible for the preference based on being a Public Law 94-437 service scholarship recipient? My response to this question will be, again, using the scroll bar to the right, I'm going to scroll down to view the remaining questions for this position. The next question is Schedule A eligible. Are you eligible for the Federal Employment Program for Persons with Disabilities? For this question, I will select yes. Question, PHS Commission Officer. Are you a PHS Commission Officer? My response to this question will be no. The last question, eligible for non-competitive appointment. Are you eligible for non-competitive appointment under a special appointing authority, such as Veterans Recruitment Appointment, present or former Peace Corps personnel or current Postal Service personnel, etc.? I will select yes for this question. Scrolling down a little further, the next section is miscellaneous information. Are you a male at least 18 years of age? I am a female, so this question is not applicable to me. So I will select the third option, which is not applicable. Next, we have availability date. We will click on the drop-down box. Again, you have the option to select from the calendar, or you can type in a date. We will use the calendar for this one, and we will select today. Next, we will select next to move on to the next screen. Now we have moved on to the assessment questionnaire. Now we're in section 1. You notice here in this section 1, to the far right of this box, it tells you how many questions are in this assessment. And we have 19 questions to answer. Okay, question number 1 says, from the description below, select the one which best describes your education and or experience and meets the minimum qualifications requirements for a program analyst GS 343-9. And you have 4 options. You have A, I have 1 year of specialized experience. B, I have 2 years of progressively higher level graduate education leading to a master's degree. C, equivalent combinations of related graduate education and experience. And D, I do not possess this specialized experience and or education described above. For question number 1, we will select A. We have 1 year of specialized experience. Now and select next to go to the next. Section 2, continue to move down the assessment questionnaire on the navigation bar. Question number 2 asks the same question, however, it's for the 343-11. So therefore, for option number A, you either have 1 year of specialized experience. B, you have 3 years of progressively higher graduate education. Or C, equivalent combinations. Or D, I do not possess the specialized experience or education described above. This point, we will select D. We do not possess the specialized experience for this position. Are you currently a Food and Drug Administration employee? We will select no for this question, which is option B. And then we will select next. Next section, which is section 4, we will answer the questions for each of the tasks in the following group. We will choose the statement from the list below that describes your experience and or education. Okay, starting with question 4, studies and manages databases related to document tracking, approval listing, and or regulatory assessments is the question for number 4. And again, we have 5 options for this section. So starting with A, I have not had education, training, or experience in performing this task. B, I have had education or training in performing the task, but have not yet performed it on the job. C, I have performed this task on the job. My work on this task was monitored closely by a supervisor or senior employee to ensure compliance with proper procedures. D, I have performed this task as a regular part of a job. I have performed it independently and normally without review by a supervisor or senior employee. And option E, I am considered an expert in performing this task, or I have supervised performance of this task, or am normally the person who is consulted by other workers to assist them in doing this task because of my expertise. Point for question number 4, we will select option E. Scrolling down a little bit further, using the scroll bar on the right, we will read question 5, and it reads, identifies, analyzes, and recommends solutions to problems pertaining to work area. We will select option B. I have had education or training in performing the task, but have not yet performed it on the job. Question number 6 applies a wide range of guidelines and regulations to perform tasks, we will select C. Question 7, interprets, adapts, and applies guidelines and policies, we will select C. Scrolling down using the scroll bar to the far right, we have no other questions on this page to answer. Therefore, we will select next at the bottom of the page and go to the next section. Section 5 starts with question number 8, analyzes background information as it pertains to the various status reports and notifies supervisor of pending delays and their reasons. We will select option D. Question number 9, gathers and organizes narrative and statistical information using established methods or techniques. We will select option D. Scrolling down a little bit further on this page, we will go to question number 10, assist in the preparation and assembly of technical and regulatory information, documents and status reports for presentations. We will select option E for number 10. Number 11, validates, researches, and updates applicant data information for various medical device reports. We will select option D for question 11. Scroll down a little further and we will select next to go to the next page. We are now on section 6, starting with question 12, designs and provides document tracking reports on submission status. We will select option B. Question 13, provides weekly technical status reports related to statutory deadlines. We will select option C. Scrolling down a little further on this page using the scroll bar to the far right, we will go to question number 14, identifies and translates official regulatory letters. We will select option E. Question 15, prepares status reports, studies, or regulatory or scientific summaries and or instructions. We will select option E for number 15. Bottom of 15, we will select next to go to the next page. 7 of the assessment questionnaire. We will start with question number 16, provides administrative and regulatory guidance and advice to the division and or support staff members. We will select option E for number 16. 17, reviews and or analyzes data and industry inquiries regarding the status of medical device submissions, invoices, or projects. We will select option C for 17. Scrolling down using the scroll bar to the right, we will move on to question 18. Initiates, answers, and coordinates oral communications with a wide range of individuals regarding technical and scientific information. We will select option D for 18. Question 19, evaluates and or responds to questions by researching, gathering, and compiling relevant information in a logical format. We will select option D for 19. Bottom of 19, we will select the option next to go to the next section. We have now moved on to the reuse documents. At the top of the page, under the previous, we have reuse documents, and to the right of that, you have a link called What Documents Are Accepted or Required. We will click on that link so we can go back to the vacancy announcement to see what documents are accepted and are required. As you can see on the screen now, vacancy announcement number, vacancy announcement, and we will click on How to Apply tab. Scroll down a little bit to the required document section, and as you can see on the required documents, you will see which documents are required for this position. So if you forgot what documents are required or accepted for this position, you can click on that link and it'll bring you back to the announcement where you can see which documents are required. Going back to Application Manager, and the table, you have documents in application package for vacancy 556. 7610, in which we are in now. Scroll down using the internal scroll bar to the right of original file name. And you can see which documents have already been submitted to go along with this position in which we are applying to. Okay. Using the outside scroll bar to your far right, we will scroll down. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, you have another table that shows you which documents are available for reuse, which means if we wanted to add a document to the list of documents to be sent over for this position which we're applying to, we can click on one of the boxes and the Add to Application Package column. We'll click on the box and come to the bottom of the table where it shows you reuse selected documents. You will click on that box. Now it brings you back to the top of the page, and you would use the internal scroll bar in the reuse documents table and scroll down. Now you can see where we've added the other document. Give you the date stamp in the next column to your right. It shows that you uploaded that document in the third column. And then the fourth column is saying being processed. And in the far right column, it tells you which document that we uploaded, which is the disability letter document. Out the external scroll bar to the far right, we're going to scroll back down. Okay, and then we'll hit the next to go to the next page at the bottom of the page. Now we have been brought to the Uploads Documents page. At this point, if you would like to upload any documents, you can do so at this time. The first step would be to select the documents. So you would click on the drop-down arrow for select a document type. And you can see what are your options that you can select. You have resume, transcript, SF50, your DD-214, SF50, OF306, executive core qualifications, cover letter, other vet documents, and then other. So you can select one of these. This time we will select other. Next, you will browse on your computer. You will find the document in which you would like to select for this position. The third thing, you would select upload. As you can see on this page, it says upload successful, which means the document that you added was uploaded successfully. Also, uploaded documents move from receive pending virus scan to process within 1 hour. If you decide to fax any documents, it may take anywhere from 2 to 3 days to appear as processed. So we're going to scroll down using the far scroll down bar. Then as you can see in this table below, using the internal scroll bar under documents on file, you can now see what other documents are on file. Okay. Very bottom of the page, you have the faxing tips along with document upload information. You have the option to click on help if you need additional assistance with uploading any documents. And also, if you need to fax any documents in, you have access to the fax cover sheet on this page by clicking on the link that says click here. A little further, and we will select next at the very bottom of the page. We have now been moved to the Submit My Answers page. You have a table with 2 columns. The first column you have to the left is ready to submit. You will click on the box that says Submit My Answers if you are ready to submit. The next column is not ready. You have the option to navigate back through any of the fields that we've gone through here to the left in the navigation bar, or you have the option to go to the main page, or you have the option to log out. At this point, we are ready to submit our answers, so we will click on Submit My Answers. We have now come to the end of our announcement where we have completed our application package because we have received the confirmation page. So once you have received the confirmation page, which says confirmation of your submission to USA Staffing Application Manager, this means that you have completed your application package for this position. It shows you your submission details. You also have the option to return to USA Jobs. Again, you have the option to click on Main, review any important links. You have the option to view help, and you have the option to log out. At this point, we will select Main and go to the main page. Here on the main page, as you can see in the first table here, is My Application Packages. This shows you every vacancy announcement that you have applied for through Application Manager. It has the status of the position, the modification date, the closing date, and the control number for USA Jobs. As you scroll down a little further on this page, you will have two boxes down here at the bottom. To the left, you can start a new application package. If you know the vacancy ID number or the USA Jobs control number, you can type that in and select Go. And to the right of that box is your profile information. You can click on Edit Profile and edit your information within your profile. You scroll back up to the top, we will select one of our vacancies so we can show you additional information in your vacancies. As you can see here again, in your status, if you're reviewing your announcements in which you've applied for, it tells you the status, whether it's complete or if there's additional information you may need to submit. We will select one of our announcements, and we will go to the next page. And here you see your application package status. It says this one is complete. Okay, it has your job title, your vacancy ID number, your announcement number, your USA Jobs control number, your applicant name, closing date, contact information. You also have the option to view the announcement again. You can change your answers. You can add documents, update your biographic information, and you can view and print your answers that you submitted for this particular application. So now a little further, you have two tabs. You have Details and Checklist. Currently, we're on the Details tab, and below Details, the next section you have is Assessments. It tells you the status of your assessment. It says it's complete. It has the name of it. It's an assessment questionnaire, and then it has the date stamp when you submitted it. Section is the Documents. It has the status of your documents, the document type, source, date received, and the original file name. Using the outside scroll bar, we're going to scroll down and go back into the internal scroll bar under Documents. We're just going to scroll down and see which documents have been processed and which documents have not been received. Next section is Messages. You can view your document. It shows you the message type, which means you have an acknowledgement letter, and the date it was emailed to you. Any other letters that will come to you through the HR specialist, those documents or those letters will show up here under Messages. The last section is Application Processing Status. You can also view that information, and it tells you that your status is complete, and it has your date stamp of when it was submitted. Back to the top of the checklist, and we're going to click on Checklist to the right of Details. Here we have it shows you your status, item, and if that document was required or not. As you can see, the assessment questionnaire item was required, has a yes, and the status is okay, which means it was received okay by the system. The second one is resume, which was also required, and it was also submitted okay. Third option was other veterans document. It was received okay. However, it was not required. But if you want it to be considered for any veteran's preference, then you will have to consult to the job announcement. Back to the main page, we will click on the box. Now we're back to the main page of My Application Packages, and this concludes how to apply online using Application Manager, which is USA Staffing, along with USA Jobs. So at this time, we will log out. Thank you.